of Mon, them lived down there. In the house they couldn't find.
Ah, gotcha.
And he said, all this was tobacco.
So what was back there in that house over there?
That was the barn where they put the tobacco and everything.
Ah.
And they said all this, there were no trees. He said,
No
Nelson them put all these trees out here.
Oh, shit.
Oh, you crazy.
Who, me?
You crazy. I wouldn't go in there.
Oh, wow, look at that.
What is that?
Some type of dead animal that's mummified. You see it?
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Isn't that something? A squirrel or something? It's mummified. They had.
Yeah. Trying to get to the house that Pan and Nelson and Mercer and everybody lived in. All three of them.
Where we were born at down there.
That's not no one's property?
It probably is.
Yeah, definitely.
People that here friendly, they're not gonna mind if you go look at stuff as long as you don't touch it. It's a big gift right there. It's a big gift right there. Okay.
You could live down here, Chris?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not too slow. You could pack up from here.
The house where my grandmother was born. This is the house she wanted to sell me. Might be too late now. Wow. Pretty high grass.
You see us? Oh, okay. Pack up everything. Okay.
We do too.
Yeah, do the maids come and clean the room?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
He got all his personal loans laid on.
No, I don't think they steal anything.
You gonna go in there and see that tub for the bill?
They gonna say, come and take a look at it.
You gotta forgive me a little bit. Anytime I think of my grandparents, and when someone brings up the past, my heart just overflows. Because I can imagine, I can just sit and remember as a child, as a young kid, we used to sit and play up at my grandparents' house. And when I think of that time, I think of fond memories. And that's why I'm so drawn to my cousins in New York so much, and I love them so much. Carl and Chris, we all grew up like, we all was on top of each other. We all grew up in the same space. We was all there loving each other. So as far as that goes, and I think of when I look at my aunts, my Aunt Molly, my Aunt Pearl, my Aunt Eunice, my mother, my Uncle DJ, Johnny, I think of the kids and how we just all just grew up in one area, all on top of each other, just playing. And that's what this family reunion is about. Remembering family. We need to love each other and let the past go.
Amen.
And as we move forward in this, let's not think about those that's in a negative that's not here. What we want to do is encourage them to the next family reunion to come and participate. So those that are here, if no one else tells you today, before you go down this road, don't you leave here and say that nobody here told you that I love you. Because I'm personally speaking to each and every one of you now, no matter how near or far, that I love you. And we love you. And if we don't learn how to show that love to one another, then history is going to repeat itself. We're going to forget each other. And this moment in time right here will be for nothing. So, being that said, I'm not going to hold it up. It's just something I want to get off. I just want y'all to know, me personally, I've enjoyed each and every one from Maryland to California to just next door, down the street. Thank you each and every one for coming. And I know everybody's ready to eat, so. Let us pray.
Let us rejoice, right? We're rejoicing. We're happy. And be happy in it, right? All right. Okay. So I'm going to talk a little bit about history, about the Logan family history. And I tell you, history, if it's not done correctly, it might put you to sleep. So we're going to do something a little different with it today. Try and spruce it up. We can make it whatever we want it to be. Okay, we're making history here today, right? And the thing about history, when we think about it, our loved ones that paved the way for us, that are gone, I really appreciate the words of Reverend Carden that he made in reference to my parents. Daryl making those comments. So, it's said that the way that you always keep your loved ones near, keep them here, because I really felt them here when those words were being made, right? I really felt my parents' presence. The way that you always keep your loved ones with you is to always, frequently say their names, okay? Mention their names. Tell your children about them, right? So they will be remembered forever. That's how it's passed down from generation to generation. Okay? So, Cousin Charlie Logan was the historian from the time we started having these family reunions until, the good Lord took him home. And I'm really appreciative of what he actually put together for us. Okay? So before I get into that, I just want you all to be prepared, because after I finish this, I want us to have an opportunity to call up our loved ones that's gone. Say their names. As long as we say their names, as long as we remember them, they will never die. Okay? They will be with us forever. Okay. So when we take a look at the history, as Cousin Charlie put it together, right? It started with a gentleman by the name of Brother Alan Logan. And this is a particularly interesting point for me, because I recently went over to the county courthouse to try and do some genealogy research on the Logan family. And as far as records would go there, it only went back as far as 1878. And the record was of Eppie Logan, right, who is the son of Brother Alan Logan that's mentioned here. And as I talked to the genealogist over there, he said, well, it doesn't go back any further than this, because prior to then, it was slavery, right? And during slavery, well, we weren't allowed to be married. We cohabitated, okay? So those marriage records don't exist. So I was directed to go to the Freedmen's Bureau in D.C. to try and get that additional information prior to 1878. But the other thing that's so good about this is that Cousin Charlie left me a starting point, a point of reference that I can mention, that when I go to search and try and find more information, this gentleman, Brother Alan Logan, will be who I will be looking for as part of the slavery records, okay? So it's really interesting as you start to dig into this stuff. You never know where it may take you, but it's always good to know your history. It's always good to know your legacy. It's always good to know the tree that you came from. And what I'm also going to ask at some point is that as we go forward and we do something different with history, maybe a pictorial history or something like that, maybe we can put together a committee of people that would really be interested in working on something like that, on a project like that. 4 or 5 people. Anybody might be interested? Don't everybody say yeah at once. Because I know I'm going to volunteer a couple of people, like Carl Jr. definitely to be part of this committee, especially to help me put together the pictorial history, that kind of thing.
Of course.
So I know he'll work with me on that. Okay. So then what I'll do is just go ahead and read through this history as Cousin Charlie put together. You've heard it before, okay? So
Thank you.
We'll do it. And then after I do that, we'll call up our ancestors that have gone before us and just call them out so they'll be here with us and celebrate this occasion with us. And just look at all the beautiful offspring that's now in existence as a result of those unions from back then. Okay, so we're going to call them up shortly. So it starts with the Logan family began in the dark ages of slavery. Okay. The first known member of the Logan family was a gentleman by the name of Brother Alan Logan, born and reared a slave. And he married, again, records weren't kept because of the time. The wife was unknown. But it is known that there were 2 children out of that union. One Eppie Logan and a daughter, Molly Logan. Okay? So Molly married a gentleman by the name of Mr. Peters from the Richmond area. And it looks like there were children from that union as well. So Eppie Logan lived in Halifax County and Pennsylvania counties, married to Amelia Dunn. And to that union, 10 children were born, 5 daughters, 5 sons. The daughters were Eva, Mary, Bernice, Julia, Lena. Sons were John B., Arthur, Willie, Raymond, and Lee. So now it's coming into names that we know, right? Okay. All right, so Miss Eva Logan never married and had a son named Major Logan, who was deceased. Then there was Mary Logan, who married Mr. Jack Easter. There were no children from that union. And then there was Miss Beatrice Logan, who married Mr. Andrew Edmonds. And I'm certain there are offsprings here from that union right there. Okay, there we go. So if you're part of the union, as I call them out, just stand up and just say, yeah, I'm here. You know, you're in the house. You're represented, right? Okay, so part of that union, let's stand and let's give the offsprings from that union a round of applause. Why don't we do that? Let's celebrate ourselves. Okay, there we go.
Logan's
all right, we're glad you're here. And then there was Julia Logan, who married Mr. Joe Trent. Anybody here from that union? It says there were 4 children, 3 daughters and a son. Mary Alice, Anna, Equilla, and a son named Richard. Anybody? All right, there she is. Hey, all right, good to see you all. Glad you're here. Okay, and then there was Lena Logan, and then there was John B. Logan, who married Miss Anna Lee Farrell. There was no children. And then there was Mr. Arthur Logan, who married Miss Nanny Easley. This union produced 9 children, 5 daughters, 4 sons. Laura, Mary, Maddie, Lucy, Nanny Ellen. The sons were Herman, Charlie, Johnny B., and James. I know we have people here from that union. So let's stand. There you go. All right. Amen. That's great. Okay, and then there was. Okay, yeah, sure. Oh man, how did I miss that? Sorry about that. Okay, and then there was Mr. Willie Logan and Miss Ida Farmer. To which, we got them already. Okay. To that union, 6 children were born, 4 daughters, 2 sons. The daughters were Virginia, Amelia, Gladys, Ruby, and their sons were Calvin and Harvey. All right, so let's stand. Let's give them a round of applause. That's right. Hurry up. And over here. Let's not forget the gentleman over here. All right. Amen. That's awesome. Right. And then, last but certainly not least, there was Raymond Logan. On the records. Raymond Logan and Mother Evans. All right, come on. There you go. It was so funny as I was reading the records over there. You know, they had it recorded as Rainy Logan. But nevertheless, we know who he is, right? Okay, so, and then the last was, of course, Lee Logan and Miss Mary Jane Majors, to whom no children were born. I'd also like to take the time here to quote, quote a comment that Cousin Charlie wrote. He said, you know, we're all here today, everyone here today are grandchildren, great-grandchildren, great-great-grandchildren, great-great-great-grandchildren of Brother Allen and Eppie Logan. And I'm sure at this point is even a great-great-great-great-grandchildren of that offspring, right? Mm-hmm. So one of the things he said, along with our wives, husbands, children, friends, we welcome all of you, and always want you to know that you're part of this family. And as Daryl said earlier, I thought was really right on point. If no one has said, I love you today, or if you haven't heard that today, just know that I love each and every one of you, and we should love one another as we go forward here and be there for one another. Okay? So may God bless this family, and may we grow stronger in love and respect for each other. Okay? All right, so that was Brother Charlie Logan. And like I said, I'm going to call up my parents, Nelson, Logan. I know if he was here, he would make a comment, something like, may the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight. And if my mama was here, I know she would be saying, I thank God I weathered the storm, right? That's one of her favorites. So, you know, if you want to take the time and just stand up and just call out the name of your loved ones, maybe say a quote or something that, you know, you remember about them. I mean, let's do it. Let's everybody hear that, you know. Let's give respect and this moment in time to our loved ones as they've paved the way, as they've gone on in front of us, and just be thankful for what they've done and for where we are today, okay? Because without them, we wouldn't be where we are, okay? So anybody? All right, all right. All right. I know they would. Absolutely. All right. Anybody else?
Audrey Logan.
All right.
I say about my father, most people call him Jim.
Yes.
And I can say my father loves his children.
Yes.
And nothing he would do for them.
Amen. Amen. That's very true. All right. Anybody else? Yes. Absolutely.
Vernon, I was just saying that this will be an opportune time for us to select a place and a date for our next reunion. We talk about we want to keep it going. You know, we can maybe, I don't know. I kind of like Virginia myself. This is our hometown, and it's such a nice place. Hotels are inexpensive, parks are nice. It just seems like a really nice place to have, but that's just my idea. So,
I like that idea too, Carolyn. I like that idea. I think Virginia's a great place. It's where we all started, right? It's our roots, right?
I agree.
So, all right, so we narrowed it down to a state. We got one state. Is there another state we'd like to consider?
New York.
Okay. Maryland? You want to come up and tell us why Maryland?
It's midway. It's like we come 8 hours.
So y'all hear that? It's midway, so Maryland is on So we have to be considerate of folk that travel so far. So Maryland is on the table as well. Okay? So now keep in mind, as you throw those states out, we're going to need a steering committee. We're going to need a host committee to sort of work with it. So, you get me?
From here? Like 5 hours.
Okay, well, there's another option. Okay? The comment was 2 days, 3 days is not enough time for people that travel so far. And then, maybe we do it a little longer. Maybe it's a week event. What does anybody think?
I would like that.
What about time of year?
4 days. 4 days is a sweet spot.
4 days?
4 days is a sweet spot. 4 days, right? Yeah, I like that. 4 days.
That's good. That's good. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Yeah. There you go.
So, I think I hear 4 days. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? And there are 2 states that's been put on the table, Virginia and Maryland. Anybody got any other input, any other thoughts? Yeah, little man. Come on up here.
Gotcha.
Come on up. Come on up here. Next generation right here.
Gotta say why, Jalen. Say why, New York.
What you say, Jalen?
Why? 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 Ask them why. Why? Why? Tell them why. You
Just because of New York.
You gotta have reasons for your comments.
Right.
You always have that reason.
All right, so what do we say for Virginia? How many say, just show of hands? Somebody help
Just
me
in New
count
York.
real quick.
I'm gonna say I'm voting twice. I want Maryland and
Help me
Virginia.
out here. What does it look like, man?
1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 12, 11, 14, 15, 19. You got about 18 up right now.
About how many?
18.
18. Virginia? Okay, let me see Maryland.
I'm voting Maryland too.
Maryland? All right, how many we got over here for Maryland?
Wow, this is close.
Hey,
You got 18 over there.
okay.
You got 18 over there.
Hey, listen.
Maryland winning. Maryland.
It looked like I got more than 18 votes
Yeah.
for Maryland.
Yeah, Maryland.
I think that's what it looks like.
Looks like Maryland.
And Julia said Maryland, right? Yeah. California. Well, you know what I talked to? Hey, look, here we go. Look, here we go. Well, California came in third.
I know why you were
I mean, you placed, but it was just third. Okay. Well, I think I hear Maryland. I think that was a consensus. Maryland?
Yeah.
On Maryland?
Yeah.
Okay. That's great. That is great. And I think I also heard it's going to be 4 days.
Yes.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
Is that what we want?
I like that.
I like that too. Like that?
Yep.
No, Maryland 4 days. You like that? Okay.
Yeah, I like
All
that.
right.
But we have so much
Let's
So
do
let me
it.
read.
Now win. Now win.
All right. The win. That's a good point. So when are we going to do it?
Every 2 years.
Now keep in mind, we want to do it at a time that, kids are available, they're out of school, that kind of stuff, because it's important that we bring our children there. So it's got to be sometime after June, right? All right, after is it after Father's Day or after when? Because again, you got the 4th coming up pretty quickly there too, right? So, what do you think?
Memorial Day.
So, yes, Cousin Mary. I didn't hear you. Say again? Have the meeting today or tomorrow? Have the meeting tomorrow? We'll talk about it at breakfast in more detail. But we've locked and loaded on what we've already said, right?
Yes.
And no more discussion on that.
I agree.
Okay.
Oh,
Right?
you want to start?
I think you're
She
right.
thinks she control everything.
All right. So we'll
I don't know. I'm just
we'll
kidding.
nail down the date and everything tomorrow at breakfast. Okay? But What's next?
Reflection.
Anybody?
Reflection.
Turn over the mic. Thank you all very much. I really appreciate
All right, thank you, thank you, thank you. Great job.
So it looks like Maryland it is.
Yes.
I'm excited about it.
Me too. Seafood.
Now there's a saying that
Seafood.
you can't choose your family, but you can choose your friend. I love all of y'all. I'm glad we can't choose our family because I wouldn't trade you guys for nothing in the world. You're wonderful. But I just want to recognize my best friend, April Miller. She's like a sister to me. She's always been there for me. My co-worker at school, the Spanish teacher that is not succeeding at teaching me any Spanish. But April, would you please stand? Sometimes friends
Hey,
are
Chris.
just as close as family.
Chris, you want to say
They're
something?
wonderful to have. And when you get a good one, you need
Reflections.
to keep them. Okay, so next, if we could just pause just for a moment of silence, for our loved ones that are gone.
Good afternoon. You all hear me? Well, anyway, before I go any further to brag on my dad, I would just like to thank each and everyone for coming out. The committee, myself and the committee, we worked really, really hard to get this started here today. And we felt that if we get it started, pray to God it will keep going. And we would like to thank each and every one of you all for taking time out just to come and to sit, the picnic. We hope you all had a good time. Today, we hope you all had plenty of food. If not, please go back and eat some more. I got up this morning at 4 o'clock just to do the corn pudding, coconut pies, and the spinach.
Yes. Yeah.
Jew baby asked about
Look
the
like
corn
her,
pudding
too.
yesterday. So I told her she had to wait till today, but I hope
She
you
looks
enjoyed
like her.
it. All right. Now, let me tell you about Nelson Logan. Who in here knew him?
Amen.
All right. Everybody here knew my dad, knew he was a man that you just couldn't do nothing but love. Dad was a good man. He was a good father to us, and he provided the best that he could. And when he got sick, he really didn't want to tell us what was wrong, and he said, well, I'm not going to go to the hospital and leave no bill on you all. So when he got down really, really sick, he said, well, I'll tell you what, if these doctors around here don't know what to do, I'll go to New York and die with Molly and Johnny. So I said to him, well, look, nobody here kids go to New York and die. So I fell out laughing. Well, they took him to New York without me knowing, and I cried for 2 or 3 days because I didn't want him to take it. Finally, on Friday, we kept calling New York asking, could we come see him? And Logan kept telling us, oh no, he'll be home. He'll be home. So Mom said, well, I tell you what, I'm going to New York and I'm going to get him and I'm going to bring him home. So when Mom got home, Daddy had passed. Well, that Friday, he called. And I said, Daddy, are you all right? He said, well, yeah, I'm all right, baby. I said, you going to come home and die with me? Yeah, I'm coming home. He said, I'll be home Monday. So, every time I think about it, I cry. So, Mark got here like, Daddy died on Monday. And I think he told Molly that he had to hurry up and get home because if he didn't, I was going to be really, really angry because he didn't come home to die with me or here with us. So when Mark got home on Monday and Dad wasn't in the car, my world just turned upside down because she told me she was going to bring him back and she didn't. But anyway, I was so angry. I stayed angry for like 6 months. And I would go to work and I would be so angry with my employees. And one of my friends said to me, your dad been dead for 3 months. When are you going to stop grieving? Well, I stepped back from the machine and I gave her a few words that I had to ask God to forgive me for. So the next 2 or 3 days she come back, she said, well, you know, Dolores, I'm sorry because people doesn't grieve alike. So however long it takes you to grieve for your father, you do it. I said, well, I don't need your permission to grieve for my dad. This is my dad, and I grieve as long as it takes. But I was just so angry. I wasn't angry with God, but I was angry because Daddy didn't come back like he promised. But I knew he went on to be with the Lord. But I had to pray for like 6 months, and it was like I would just turn bottom sides up. And I prayed and prayed for 6 months that God would just flip me back, that I would be myself again. And I guess all of a sudden one day I just had forgotten, and the heavy burden had left me. And I knew Dad was at peace with God. But I just wished he had lived long enough to see Kirk. Because family meant everything to Daddy. And my dad was just a good man. And I do wish, even if he was 100 years old, that we could have wheeled him here today. And I know he would be happy. Of his children and his grandchildren and all his nieces and cousins and Carl Jr. and Chris and everybody. I know Daddy would have been so happy to see y'all. And I had a good mom. I learned how to cook the food from my mom. When Molly left home, she said, Lord, it's time for you to go in the kitchen. You got to cook. And I said, Mom, I don't know how. She said, well, you get in there and do the best you can. And I think after a couple of days, I learned how to make bread from scratch. But after I had my own kids and I made bread for a while and then I just stopped making bread. But I think I can make bread again. But Mom taught me how to cook the good southern food. And I cook now where you don't even have to season it when I put it on the table because I can do it just that good. And I'm not bragging, but it's okay to toot my own horn sometimes. But I just want y'all to know, I thank God for my parents, although they're in heaven. I thank God for my parents today. And I thank them for being the parent that they were, that I am the person that I am today. And again, thank you all so much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you, Aunt Lois. One thing I learned from my grandfather, Nelson Logan, is how to love the Lord. That man loved the Lord. And I remember one time he said to me, he said, Boo, I need $20. I said, Daddy, you can have as much as you need. That's all you need is 20. Anything you need, you got it. And he took that 20 and he put 18 of it in church and kept 2. I mean, he loved, he said, if you're faithful to God, God is going to always be faithful to you, no matter what. So, we have another flash.
Hello, I'm Asia. I'd like to give remembrance to my Uncle Sherman. He's gone, but never forgotten. Sherman Logan.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else?
All right.
Not Mary?
Let Mary. Let's give her a
All right,
Good afternoon, everybody. I would like here to talk in behalf of Nelson Logan. And we had a close relationship when we were working together. Nelson and I put a lot of hard work and time in this reunion. After Nelson got sick, the load fell on me. You all that know this. The bank called me, said, Miss Pounds, what are we going to do? I had nobody in the reunion to take over. So Nelson asked me to get Eunice. So Eunice was my partner until we had the final picnic. She stepped in and would help me. The whole load fell on me. I took care of everything, and I thank God I was able to do it. That's why I'm saying now, I hope you all would work together, and I hope you all would pull together, and let's have this reunion going, because it's no picnic, it's no plaything, but it can be a good thing if we work together. We have to love one another. We have to put our, not just talk. Man, you can do a lot of talking in here. That last picnic that I had up at AD&B, we organized the reunion. We had everything. Not the first one moved to do anything. Not nothing. Until we went to Maryland 2 years ago, and then we reorganized this reunion. See, you can do a lot of talking, but you got to put your work to action. And I hope you all would get here and work together and pull together just like we do. And that Brother Harvey, he always had been by my side. And Myrtle, I love her to death. She's not here, but Myrtle was a good worker. And any time I asked Myrtle or we would do something, we would work together. The last reunion we were supposed to have was in New York, and nobody but 10 people from Virginia signed up to go to New York, but nobody went. We had to cancel the reunion. I had to send everybody their money back, but I did. But now we can work together and cooperate together, and we're going to do something now, because you all are young, you all can take over now, and you see now what we've been doing, and I hope you all won't let this go down in my lifetime. I'll do all I can to help you. Thank you.
At this time, my mom would like to recognize my Aunt Corliss Ballou. So Aunt Corliss, she's not actually Logan by blood, but she's Logan in every other way. So Aunt Corliss, if you have anything to say, or just stand and wave your hand.
No, just on marriage, by marriage. Quarter blue.
Okay, at this time we're going to have presentations by Shari.